and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Thursday, July 16th. I'm J.D. Skeets, and joining us here on Zoom, Tass Mellis.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Tassie. We got the bearded one, Trey Kirby.
Hey-yo!
Hey-yo! The international man of mystery, taking it to the max, Lee Ellis.
Friend.
And last but not least, making the magic happen, JD.
Hello.
There he is, and here we are. It's time for the up-down report, but before we get into it, let's just quickly address Dwyane Wade. Here's the brief backstory if you don't know. On Tuesday, Nick Cannon, he lost his job at Viacom CBS for peddling anti-Semitism on his podcast / YouTube show, whatever it was. On Wednesday, Heat legend Dwyane Wade, he tweeted support for the entertainer. D. Wade tweeted at Nick Cannon, quote, "We are with you, keep leading." Okay, everyone's like, what the hell's going on here? A few hours later, Wade, he deleted his original tweet and then wrote, quote, "I want to clarify my now deleted tweet. I was not supporting or condoning what Nick Cannon specifically said, but I had expressed my support of him owning the content and brand he helped create," end quote. About an hour later, Wade tweeted again, quote, "I was too quick to respond without being fully informed about he's talking about Nick Cannon's, hurtful anti-Semitic remarks. As you all know, I have zero tolerance for any hate speech," end quote. I don't really have a whole lot to add to this, especially since we last week discussed what happened with Deshaun and Steven Jackson. I sure as hell don't give a about Nick Cannon, if I'm being completely honest, but we need to say this. We here at No Dunks wholeheartedly, guys, condemn anti-Semitism, okay? As for Wade, you can cast your own judgment over his original tweet and then his apologies. I'm going to personally choose to believe him that he was basically, in his words, terribly misinformed. That was sort of my working theory when this popped off yesterday on Twitter. I was talking to Nora about it. I'm like, what? Wade's tweeting support for Nick Cannon? My guess, I hope, that I think he's supporting the idea of Nick Cannon trying to keep his brand without knowing why he's trying to keep his brand. You know what I mean? Like, it felt like Wade saw the headline and didn't read the article. So that's what he says. Maybe that's me grasping at straws, because Wade is someone that I do admire, someone who's done incredible work in the black community, someone who's done incredible work for the LGBTQ community. Maybe that's me being naive. I don't know. Up to you guys out there, everybody here on the Zoom call, to make your own call. We're all Joe Borgia on this one. But again, we got to stop with the saying and the amplifying of hate speech and anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. That's all I got to say, but I want to do, again, just address this Wade situation, which was very weird yesterday.
Yeah, I would assume Dwyane Wade was coming out and defending another black artist, a black person who built a brand without knowing what the heck is going on.
I think so.
There's just a lot of ignorance going on, and I think this is another case of it. I think it's definitely in the same sort of family as Steven Jackson, but not even close to what Steven Jackson did by doubling down and tripling down and basically casting a whole group of people as undermining society and these conspiracy theories. I mean, that was incredibly wrong. Dwyane Wade came out and apologized right after, and I think the thing that we can learn from this is that one group obviously should not be putting down another group of people. This is supposed to be an inclusive time, and the people at The Athletic, a group of Jewish writers, wrote about the Steven Jackson scenario, had a podcast about the Steven Jackson scenario, basically saying just that. It's an interesting read. It's an interesting conversation. It's something that we have to do. And I understand Dwyane Wade getting his dander up, understanding that Nick Cannon built something and going out and defending him. But at the same time, just like anything on the internet, people don't know the whole scenario and are quick to just fire off a tweet. And he didn't know why he got fired, I assume. I am in that same boat, that Dwyane Wade would not F around if he knew what the heck was going on. But people tweet without knowing what the heck they're saying at the same time.
You're right, Tess. There's a lot of information out there. I think it's a lot smarter to take the half hour to figure out what you're talking about before you blast off a tweet and you have to apologize, because it can certainly undermine the work you've been doing when you're fighting for equality. Equality means equality for everyone. It doesn't just mean equality for one subset of people. Go to The Athletic, read something, listen to a podcast, and then get your tweet off.
Yeah, I think it was just a poor choice of words from Dwyane at the time. He saw Nick Cannon gets fired and he's probably just like, he's a black guy who's built a lot. I support him. And then he realized why he got fired and he was like, well, hang on a minute. I don't support everything that Nick Cannon has done in this case. And I think that's what it is. Dwyane Wade has a proven track record of being not prejudiced against any groups. And I'm willing to stand in his corner for that today and say what he's done for his entire career was not undone by a silly tweet yesterday where he quickly tried to correct it and tried to at least come out and say, listen, I got it wrong. I didn't read the article. I didn't find out all the information first. And so he kind of retracted that first tweet because, you don't just want to pile on a guy if he actually understands that he made the wrong decision yesterday and then he tried to correct it. I think, again, you have to look at his entire body of work and particularly what he is doing there with his own child to show that Dwyane Wade is all about inclusivity. And yesterday, he got it wrong at the start of the day, but I think by the end of the day, he realized his mistake for the tweet and tried to clarify what he said. So actions speak louder than words. And Dwyane, again, only a couple of days before, showed the shoes that he designed for his transgender son. And again, that he's been on Ellen. He's talked about how proud he is, how much he's standing behind his own child. And I think that, again, reflects more on Dwyane rather than the poor tweet that he sent out yesterday.
Absolutely. All right. Let's get into the up-down report.
Prepare your tubis. It's the up-down report.
JD dropping the beat. Let's start with this sort of weird Victor Oladipo story. I'll take you through this. According to Ryan Windhorst, the Pacers are in an unresolved situation regarding $3 million in salary when it comes to Oladipo. Under the rules the NBA established for its season restart in Orlando, players who were healthy but opted not to play would have to forego the remaining salary for the season. 2 weeks ago, you guys remember, I think he told it to Shams, Oladipo said he was healthy but had decided not to play to ensure recovery from his quad tendon tear. The Players Union believes Oladipo, who went to Orlando with the Pacers and then cleared quarantine so he could practice, should be paid his remaining salary, but the league believes, well, Vic opted out, and so he should not be paid. And then a day later, Oladipo told reporters there's a strong possibility he might even play. He's down there, so he might just play. Little wild. Are you up or down on Oladipo tasks, still pondering his return here, and maybe even who do you side with in this weird situation if he were to not play with the union or the league itself?
Well, he's going to get paid, and I'm up on him getting paid. He's trying to come back. He got injured on company hours, and he's trying to be his best self, whether it's this year or next year. So he's physically there, and he's working out. It's not like he's slagging off somewhere. So I'm up for him getting paid, and I'm up for, if he decides to come on the floor, another all-star being on the floor. But I don't think he's going to be his all-star self. He's going to be sort of on the same level, I would guess, as Malcolm Brogdon and Domantas Sabonis. He's going to be one of the 5 guys with Miles Turner and TJ Warren out there that's going to be really, really good. And it's like Domantas Sabonis said on a Zoom call to reporters, because that's what we're doing right now. He said he's good to have out there. Having him around completes the team. We're a full roster. He's another body we can go at. He's an elite player. So he's just making us better at the same time. It's like 5. The Pacers are like 5 of the same guy. And you can't just sit on any of them at this point. Brogdon's got to be better. Sabonis got to be better because Oladipo's not going to be a super duper all-star. But I don't know what's changed with him physically, but I'm sure he's just trying to work his butt off and get back to being out there. So I'm good with absolutely everything going on there.
Yeah, the Pacers they've publicly supported Oladipo. I mean, they're saying it's his decision to make, and it sounds like they're even like, we're cool with paying him, regardless if he plays or not. But you can sort of see where the league is like, I think Windhorst said this, you almost have to look at it as like they may want to set a precedent right here. If you're cleared to play and you don't, should you still be paid? Because otherwise the league might look at guys that are down there who are deemed healthy, who hell might even play, and then are like, I just don't want to play anymore, but I'm still going to cash those checks. And that could be a problem. I don't know. Is Oladipo the reason this is an issue is to be made an example of, like, hey man, if you're healthy and you said you were healthy and you don't play, then you're not going to get paid. Trey, what do you think?
I'm 100% with you. The Pacers are saying we're paying him either way. This is about everybody else that's not Victor Oladipo, because if the league comes out and they guarantee pay for all players, which they should do since these guys have contracts, it then puts the onus on the players to play for the love of the game. So now the players are the ones who can look like the bad guys by saying, I'm healthy, I just don't want to get hurt. But as for Oladipo, he's in Orlando. He's risking the virus. So to me, he should 100% be paid. The only difference is that if he decides to sit out of games, he's not going to be risking injury that, a Jason Tatum or a De'Aaron Fox would be doing. Hopefully, though, in those cases, like the Celtics or the Kings, they would do the same thing that the Pacers are doing, saying, it's your choice, man. We got your back no matter what. If you want to play, we're going to pay you. If you want to sit and you want to be healthy, we're going to pay you because we want you to be healthy in the future as well.
Lee?
Yeah, I mean, it's just interesting that this is even a story if the Pacers are saying we're going to pay him no matter what. It's sort of like, I think it could be almost just brushed aside, because if they're saying, well, we're going to pay him, we respect whatever decision he makes, then I don't think there's any need to sort of start squabbling over it when it's $3 million. I mean, he's an all-star.
That's what lawyers do, Lee. They squabble,
exactly.
man.
They always get paid no matter what, But that's the sort of interesting part. If the Pacers ownership is saying, Victor, it's up to you. If you feel healthy and you're ready to go for it. If you want to sit it out, it's fine by us. We don't hold that against you. To show that we have no hard feelings, we're going to pay you your full salary. So you make the right decision. And what else is interesting is Nate McMillan is saying we're assuming he won't be playing. So whatever conversations they've had in the last few days, Nate's latest stance on it is like, I don't think he's going to play. So it's a bit of a weird one, but it sort of has a bit of a feel that Oladipo is like, I don't think I'm ready to go. And then he was like, someone said, well, you're not going to get paid. And he's like, well, okay, maybe I am okay then. That's what it sounds like. So,
but he was always going down there. He was always going down there, even when he said.
Oh no, and he said he was gonna work out with the team to get his sort of keep himself in some sort of shape. So
yeah, I mean, I understand
maybe
the league
he is dominating the practices, right? Like maybe he's down there. He's thinking I'm just gonna be getting some work in so that I can be ready to go for 2021. And maybe he's the best player on the court. Maybe I should be stepping on for the Pacers.
Yeah, I understand the league wanting to set an example as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is it's a very unique situation, but they're looking at the other 21 teams and they say, whoa, Devin Booker, if you're going to play till July 31st, you guys lose your first game and you're just going to bow out and you're still going to get your full salary. I think this is all in good faith. As Trey said, these guys are going down there and risking potentially getting the coronavirus, and so is Victor Oladipo. And I don't know, maybe I'm being naive, but I don't see other guys getting out there running up and down for 3 weeks and then saying, I've had enough. I mean, I think they're going to go through their regular season schedule, and the guys are going to sit at times because the 8 regular season games are not going to be treated like playoff games, that's for sure. But I don't see guys just bowing out and saying, taking this check and running home. I don't think that. They are at danger. It is definitely safe in there to this point, but at the same time, I don't know. I have faith that they're in good faith. They're playing under good conditions there.
Yeah, couldn't the Pacers and Oladipo just be like, all right, we'll put you in for 30 seconds a game?
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be obviously a workaround. You played. Yeah, we played him a minute. We put him in for 10 seconds.
Yeah, but they're going to pay him even if he doesn't play.
I know. I'm saying to appease the league. I mean, that I'm sure would upset them even more. I get it, but look, I understand what the league's the worry is. They're like, if we do this with him, that could lead to more guys doing this. Like, why not? Why couldn't that be the case? You just hope it wouldn't, like you guys are saying. All right.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him in the playoffs though. Like, he is a decoy, no matter what. Even if he's not Oladipo, he is at least.
Well, do you think he's going to play then?
Yeah, I think so. Huh. Who the heck knows?
Yeah, who knows? Yeah. Sounds right now that he's leaning towards the possibility. Yeah. And as Trey said, maybe he's like surprised himself with how he feels and how he's playing down there. Who knows? All right, next one. Good news. NBA players now have the freedom to wear their own clothes when walking from the team bus into the facilities at Orlando. Initially, the NBA said that it would require players to get dressed for games in their hotel rooms, stating that the players must be in uniform and warm-ups when they arrive to the venue. Of course, if that happened, we wouldn't have these great, basically, fashion shoots that we always see. What shoes are they rocking? What is Kelly Oubre Jr. wearing? Stuff like that. But the NBA has decided to revise its policy, or at least clarify that was incorrect when that first report broke. So, up or down on the league deciding to allow these players to wear their own wardrobes to games. Lee, what do you think?
When I started reading this article from Nick DePaula, I started up because it says players can wear a variety of relaxed items from their own wardrobes upon arrival that are clean and neat in appearance, including presentable shorts. So I'm like, great, I'm up.
Yep.
But that paragraph ends with this. However, players not in uniform at games must be wearing pants while seated on the bench. So I'm down. Are you telling me you can wear shorts to the arena, but then you're going to change into pants to go out and watch the game?
Yeah, if you're not playing, yes.
No way, man. Do you know how hard it is to be in shorts and then put on pants when it's a beautiful hot day down there in Orlando? Like,
Well,
you're
if you've got those pants that you can zip the legs off, then it's actually not that much of a problem, Lee. It just takes like 30 seconds.
No, but they're not neat and presentable, those pants. I think, I think if you're wearing shorts and you're looking great and you're coming in off the bus and then someone says, here you go, you got to whack your dacks on and go and sit on the bench, you're like, no, man, I'm in shorts today. I'm wearing shorts today. I've got my cool shoes as well. It matches the whole outfit. So I just can't believe you're going to make people wear pants on the bench. What's the difference? If you're wearing neat and presentable shorts to the arena, they're still neat and presentable when you're sitting on the bench. Outraged by this. Big time down.
Oh, wow.
Lee, do you think you have more presentable shorts or non-presentable shorts?
Well, that probably is open for debate. I do have a lot of basketball shorts because they are absolutely the most comfortable shorts to wear. Now, I accept that they're not necessarily neat and presentable to be wearing on the bench, but again, if I'm not playing and I'm in Orlando, you know I'm wearing shorts and they're neat and presentable. The ones I wore at Vegas Summer League, they were never scruffy. They were always neat and presentable.
They were nice. They were nice
Yeah,
shorts.
and
I would
I'd
say everybody was wearing nice shorts when we would wear shorts at our
And
summer
listen,
league shorts.
we were sitting courtside a couple of times in Vegas, and no one came up and said, "Whoa, guys, whoa, the shorts, no thanks. Go and put on a pair of Dacks." Everyone was just like, "Yeah, it's hot."
Yeah, we have great
Were
legs.
we playing in the game? We weren't playing in a basketball.
Yeah, but the point being that no one was like, "Hey, you guys are courtside. The TV cameras are here. We want neat and presentable shorts." They are. They're not ugly, scruffy shorts. So yeah, very disappointed. I hope the NBA changes course on this too.
Okay, so you're up. Yeah, you're up on them being allowed to wear whatever they want to the game, but then if you're not playing, you got to wear pants. You're down on that. Trey, what do you think?
Big time down.
Yeah, I would say I'm trending up, but I'm still like plateauing here because there should be absolutely zero restrictions for what these guys are wearing. Show up in a sleeveless shirt, show up in some short shorts, who cares? We're happy to have basketball on TV. Literally nobody who is watching this is going to care what players on the bench are wearing. Okay. I do like, though, that the players are still allowed to dress in full uniforms if they want to. Good news, if Jason Terry happens to get picked up, a lot of older players are getting picked up. That guy likes to sleep in his uniform. Maybe he will never change. The worst part, though, the part you have to be down on, no post-game showers. 40 minutes after the game, the players are going to be leaving from the game arena to their hotels. That's 40 minutes of not being able to shower. You're not going to want to put on a pair of pants after that kind of game. Maybe if they're tearaways, it's fine, but I don't know. Why do you care at all if we're seeing people's knees?
Yeah, I don't even think you're going to see knees either because the players who aren't playing aren't going to be on the front row of the bench either, right? They are going to be in the second, third row. And so you're not seeing legs. I don't think you're even going to know unless you've got the tunnel angle, seeing them walk out. I don't think during the games you're going to be able to see knee down or even like chest down for that matter. So strange one. And I think post game, as Trey was talking about, I guess guys, as Nick DePaula wrote, players may now prefer to switch out of their sweaty uniforms into, quote, appropriate team identified apparel to head back onto the bus while carrying their pregame outfits in a duffel bag.
That's kind of like you in the mornings, though, before the show, isn't it, Tass? You go for your workout and then you come straight in and record the pod. Like, how does it feel not going for a shower first?
Yeah, but I don't change. I also don't change. I'm just sweaty as a mofo.
That's unhygienic, though, Tass, because I do that after runs, too. I'll just sit out on the front porch, have some water, look at my phone after a long run where I'm sweating. But Nora's always yelling at me. She's like, you should be showering right away. I mean,
she's right.
She's right. I feel for these guys.
That's why that itch is happening.
That's not poison ivy.
Buy stock in Gold Bond medicated powder, chafing on the rise.
Yeah.
Oh, can't wait for my Hawthorne read a little bit later. But I do like post game. I get it. Guys are sweaty, don't want them changing. I guess that increases, interactions with people. And but for the pregame, I may be naive. I don't know exactly how the virus is going to be contracted with guys changing in the locker rooms. I think it's fine. I don't think it increases the possibility of it being contracted. And I think it's just a little bit of normalcy for players. I'm not feeling sorry for the players, but it's like, I mean, even when you traveled from high school to high school playing basketball, you didn't go in your warm-ups. You had something else on, right? Like I think this is just sort of normal for dudes, and it's already abnormal being down there, and I think this is good. I think you're going to see increased play because guys can dress as they want pregame.
I actually think, Tess, maybe it has less to do with like the risk of transmitting or passing the virus back and forth in the locker room or in the shower or whatever, and maybe it's actually like, we need to get these guys out of this locker room so we can clean this locker room so then more people can come into the locker room and play another game. Like I assume there are not at these arenas a lot of locker rooms, right? Like there may only be 2 for all I know, and we know that there's going to be like all of these games going throughout the day. Maybe it's like just a pure like, we got to get them the hell out of here. And some of these guys take forever to shower and get dressed and all that. Let's get them back to their hotel room. I'm sure it's a little bit of both.
They're also spending 4 months together. Just change behind the bleachers,
Yeah.
man.
You're not
It would be funny though if they just said, right, everyone has to turn up in uniform and that's it. You got to strut in,
that'd be funny.
Like when your kids playing in the summer league, like you would just turn up in uniform because it was so hot. It was like, all right, yeah, cool. Just imagine LeBron walking in just in his full Lakers gear. I'm ready.
Like, you know how furious a guy like PJ Tucker would be if they didn't reverse course on this? He brought like something like 91 pairs of shoes. I mean, he wouldn't be able to like show them off at all. How many suitcases does it take to bring 91 pairs of shoes or duffel bags or whatever? Like, that's a lot.
I like the detail that he was getting ready to leave. And he's like, I just can't leave these 24 pairs. Got to grab them. He just got a bag full of 24 shoes ready to go just in case he needs them. It's like when you're going to the hospital to have a baby, you're supposed to have a go bag ready.
Yep.
But for PJ Tucker, it's a shoe baby, I suppose.
Yeah.
Duffel bag.
And he set up an 85-inch TV in his hotel room as well. Guy's smart.
Smart guy. He plans on the Rockets being there for a long time, I think. All right, so we are generally up on that, but yeah, come on, you should be able to wear shorts, we're saying, even if you're not playing in the game and you're just on the bench, second, third row, who cares? Let's see some legs. Come on, live a little. All right, next one here. Oh my God, Stan Van Gundy, now on Twitter. The former NBA coach, he told Josh Robbins of The Athletic that he joined last week to support specific political candidates and to advocate for social justice. My man, this dude is making up for lost time. In his first week, Van Gundy has tweeted about 300 times, already has 40,000 plus followers. He's cranking it out at RealStanVG. Up or down? Trey, why don't you get us started? Up or down on Stan Van Gundy joining Twitter?
Oh, I'm up on this because I was a little bit off of social media over the weekend. I've been doing a lot of stuff, being a little bit more busy, getting away from the phone. And I saw this kind of like popping up in our Slack channels and in our documents, like, oh, what's up with Stan Van Gundy on Twitter? So I went over and I couldn't believe this man's advocacy. I never thought that I would be getting podcast recommendations on Twitter from Stan Van Gundy, but the guy is recommending the Justice in America podcast. Can't wait to listen to it. The only thing I'm down on, we got to get him verified. Even his Twitter profile picture is him holding up a paper that says Real Stan VG. We're a week in and he still doesn't have the blue check mark. I guess that's good for last night. He wouldn't have been able to get these tweets off, but I don't know. Maybe they're waiting for him to show his basketball handle skills to really know it's him before they bequeath the check mark. But as soon as I actually scrolled through SVG's feed, I was 100% in on following.
I think he's in the honeymoon period of Twitter right now too, where he's just like, you know what, this is what I'm saying, these are my opinions, I don't care what anyone says. Just wait till he starts getting the blowback, especially from all the right-wingers, because he's clearly out there as a liberal and as a left supporting all those candidates, Stan. It's just a matter of time before someone gets hold of him and all of a sudden his feed is just negative and people coming at him.
Nah, he may not care, Lee. He may not care.
I hope not, because he's great. And I like his honesty and I like his openness there. Like, Stan Van was always great in scrums. Like, he's a very clever guy. He's very sarcastic and he's funny. And I think it's really coming through in his tweets too. He's great. He's great too. So now we need to see him on Instagram. And then we need him to really get on TikTok. If I see a Stan Van TikTok,
No.
I'm going to lose it.
No, please don't do that. Just
Pretty
stick
sure
to
that
Twitter.
won't happen.
Yeah, SVG. What do you think, Cass?
I think his wife is the one who got him on Twitter. His wife and his son. I heard him on Tampering with Sam Amick, and he was on a call actually regarding people being elected, state attorneys, district attorneys, that he wanted to get elected for criminal justice reform, and they were talking about their strategies. How do we get these people elected in Florida, etc.? And they just kept talking about social media. So he called his wife and he said, "Should I get on social media? Do I need to get on Twitter?" And she said, "Yeah, Stan." And so his son set him up, and he was talking about what Lee was saying there, that, you know, the notifications tab. I don't want to get into fights. I think his wife or his son put a little bit of tape over the piece of the part of the phone where the notifications tab is, so he never presses it, so he never reads anything from anybody that says anything that's anti-left. But I love it because, listen, we share similar views. It's always good to follow accounts I agree with and pretend the other side doesn't matter. That's always good for conversation. That's always good for keeping things open. SVG is great, and he's in the Orlando area. He's 45 minutes away from the arena, but like the Orlando Magic, when he goes and works for Turner and NBA TV, he's going to go right in the bubble. He can't just drive in and out. But no complaints from Stan Van. Stan Van doesn't complain. He's going to be in there, as he told Sam Amick, and just like everybody else. So can't wait for Stan Van on the broadcast as well.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that little part, that he's going to be in there. Stan Van Gundy in the bubble. Make that a reality show for sure. Watch the hell out of that one. Oh, yeah. We're all up on Stan Van. He's on Twitter. It's great. Next one here. We sprinkled this next news. We've talked about it like a little bit. We've again sprinkled it in over the last couple of shows, but let's get some official thumbs on it here. Sixers are moving Ben Simmons from his usual point guard spot to the power forward position. They haven't practiced, at least. It appears that they're going to be doing this when we actually restart the season in 2 weeks' time, guys. Yeah, we're going to have basketball 2 weeks from today. Shake Milton will start at the point guard spot. So, officially, are you up or down on the Sixers moving Ben Simmons to the power forward position? Tass, what do you think?
I'm up, baby.
Okay.
Can times be any weirder than right now? Well, they're going to get weirder. Ben Simmons is going to shoot jumpers. I can feel it. He talked about the pick and roll and the pick and pop. He doesn't shoot anything outside the paint usually. Usually, if it is, he gets into the body, spins, fades, and his body is outside the paint. And we're probably going to see some of that. I think it's just going to be Weird Town down there, and that includes Ben Simmons not just driving, although we'll see a lot of that. But I think we're going to see a little slight uptick in Ben Simmons and the confidence and the jumper. I just feel like it's Bizarro World, and Ben is going to be part of that, and it's not. He's going to be this. Going to add this little part to his game. I'm not saying he's shooting threes. I'm not dumb. But I can see some more jumpers.
Tass. He was draining them from all over the place. I think he hit 2.
Yeah, he hit one from half. Oh yeah, earlier this year. Yeah. And he hit one from half court in practice the other day. Of course, he's going to start shooting them from there too.
Benny buckets.
Trey, what do you think about this? Simmons going to the power forward position.
What's the deal with Brett Brown caring so much about labeling Ben Simmons' position? We're acting like we've never seen this before. Ben Simmons playing power forward. Watch their playoff games from last year. He was playing power forward. They just had Jimmy Butler around. Now it's going to be Shake Milton in the starting lineup, basically because Shake Milton is a better dribbler and passer than anybody else besides Ben Simmons on the Sixers, right? Like Josh Richardson not getting it done as a playmaker. Tobias Harris, same thing. The only thing this really does is it answers the Al Horford question. Horford, Simmons, and Embiid, we found out you can't play 3 of them at the same time. It just doesn't make sense. So they're getting some more playmaking in the starting lineup. They're making it so that only 2 of Embiid, Simmons, and Horford are on the court at the same time. And that was a question going back into the bubble because Al Horford had gone to the bench, but then when some injuries happened, he came back into the starting lineup. They've been in and out, in and out. We didn't know exactly what it's going to look like. Now we sort of do. But who cares, Brett Brown, if Ben Simmons is a point guard or a power forward? Let him have the ball. Let him have let him not have the ball. And when he doesn't have the ball, it makes more sense to involve him as a screener or somebody who's in the post rather than just standing in the corner where nobody's going to guard him.
Yeah, no, I sort of agree with that too. I mean, a lot of the talk, and rightfully so, is like, oh, the purpose is to get more out of Ben Simmons, maybe his skill set. But I actually think this might be addressing the Al Horford situation, like you said, Trey. It's like, that's what this is really doing. Yeah, you get Shake Milton there to run your offense and the guy that can shoot, which you always want to surround a guy like Joel Embiid and even Ben Simmons for that matter, and just get Al Horford out of the starting lineup because it didn't really work all that well. It was clunky with Embiid and Horford starting together. So that's what it really does, this like jockeying of positions, because it doesn't really matter what you slap on Ben Simmons. He's a player. He's good. He has his deficiencies, sure, yeah, shooting. He's not great at that. Maybe he'll get better, maybe he won't, but he's still an all-star. He's awesome. So yeah, I think it's actually more about Horford in a weird way than I do about Simmons, but what do you think, Lee?
Yeah, I mean, Brett Brown has to figure out a way to get that offense just uncongested because that's the problem. Like, defensively, they're an incredible team, Philadelphia. They've got bodies everywhere. They've got long arms. They can contest shots and they grab rebounds. But on the offensive end, you look at it sometimes and you're like, there's no movement. There's too many guys sort of down in the post. You know, Embiid and Simmons are sort of all over each other. So they need to figure out a way just to create a little bit more opening and a bit more flow. And maybe if Simmons is not necessarily in control of the ball, if he's screening, then rolling to the rim, Embiid then doesn't have to be down there as much, maybe that will open things up. Because if this Philadelphia offense can get going and get humming to its capabilities, then the Sixers, I think, really do vault themselves up into the conversation as a possible team to come out of the East. But from what we've seen so far from them this season, it's just you just sort of don't feel that they've got the ability to knock off, you know, Milwaukee, Boston, Toronto, maybe, because it just looks their offense just looks so muddled and just so confusing. So I think Brett Brown's just trying to figure out a way to unlock it a little bit.
We will see if it works. Brett Brown, why not try it? I mean, we don't know if he'll be able to. If the Sixers flame out in the first round in this weird bubble environment, does he still keep his job? I think we were saying before the season shut down, if they were to get to the playoffs in a normal season, of course, and they flamed out early, he probably would have been gone, I think. Yeah. We were debating that. Now I don't know if that changes that equation or not because of the bubble, but he's going to try things here, and he absolutely should. And I actually think this makes a lot of sense, especially with what you're getting from Shake Milton. They like that, and again, moving Horford to the bench, I think it's a smart move. All right, next one. This one is hilarious. A video of a chef cutting seemingly realistic objects only to reveal that they are in fact cakes. It went viral this week. I hope you guys saw the vid. It's got like 30 million views, this one video I saw. Features various objects. Crocs, toilet paper, potted plants, bananas, a pizza, so much more. It's a long video. It's like 4 minutes long. There's a lot of objects that are in fact cake. So, are you up or down on this phenomenon? Cakes that look like real things. Lee, what do you think?
I'm up on the creativity of it for sure, because that video is just amazing. You look at it and they look so real. I think there's a cheeseburger in there as well.
Sure.
And you're like, I mean, what's he thinking, this person, you know, when they're creating this stuff to like, I want to just fool everybody. Here's a cheeseburger, but no, it's actually a cake. Just look how crazy this is. Some of them are incredible. Like the pizza is like, it's got all the toppings on it and everything. But why are you making a crock into a cake? That's the part that I'm like, Crocs, you lost me at Crocs. Everything else is...
So you're fine when he's making a cake out of other food, but not an object. Is that right?
Like at least then you sort of can understand you're going to eat it. You go, oh, I thought it was pizza. No, it's cake. Okay, well, that's fine. I planned on eating it. But a crock or a toilet roll? The toilet roll? Like, what is that? I don't get it. The bananas in there as well. He had like a whole like... roasted vegetables chopping board and everything as well.
Yeah.
Like the detail is just unbelievable. It's just super weird. You know,
so you're sort of up on it.
I'm up on it.
Okay.
I mean, it's crazy, but it's like a bar of soap. Who wants to go? I want to eat a bar of soap.
Yeah, that one looks amazing. That one is wild. Yeah. Nora sent me another video. She's like, "Have you seen the chicken one?" I'm like, "No, what are you talking about? The chicken wasn't in this one." I'll send it to you guys after we're done this. It's really gross because it's raw chicken. Like they've made, like, you know, like you go to a Publix and you buy chicken breasts, right? Yeah. Raw chicken breasts that you would cook with the, you know, the saran wrap over the top or whatever. It looks like that. So the pieces, the chicken cutlets are cake.
Yeah,
but it's so
gross.
weird. Oh, it's really weird, that one. But Trey, what do you think of this phenomenon, this viral video?
Don't copy me on that email. I don't need to see it. I don't need to
You
see
don't like
any of
this?
these. No.
You don't like it?
If you see one cake that is an object, you've seen them all. Because guess what? No matter what they cut into, when they say it's a cake on the inside. I don't want to eat any of these. Fondant is probably the most disgusting thing you can put on a cake. These are all made of fondant. I can't imagine watching 4 minutes of people cutting into cake. It's not even fun when you're watching, like 40 seconds of somebody cutting into a cake at a wedding. You're like, all right, smash it into each other's faces and let's move on to the dancing. How in the world do 30 million people have the patience to watch 4 minutes of cutting into cake? No thanks.
Tass?
They probably tuned out after 30 seconds, Trey, but they still got that hit. Listen, I love cake, and I understand what Trey's saying about fondant, but at the same time, you can just peel that back and go for the cake. It peels off very easily, but it's weird, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm way up on cake, so it's hard to go down. I just love a good cake. That being said, I love fresh cake. There is absolutely nothing like a fresh cake. And cake that takes a lot of work on the outside, it's less likely to be fresh on the inside. You gotta bake the cake, and then you work on the outside. So that takes time, but there's, in theory, you put a buttercream on the outside, and that sort of seals the freshness while you do the work on the outside. But it's not fresh, and there's absolutely nothing like a fresh cake. So the creativity, love it. The cake, I want a fresh one.
All right, JD, what do you think about this? Real objects that are fat cake. Everything might be cake is the worry here, right?
Yeah. I was into it. I like art, like anyone, and I like cake, but I just did a search for gross cakes.
Oh yeah, what do you got? You got dogs and babies and stuff?
I got a kitty litter box. I got a very erect penis.
Okay.
I've got 3 Musketeers with maggots coming out of it. I've got an ashtray with a completely full ashtray with a pack of cigarettes next to it.
Amazing.
That's gross. But it looks very cool. But I'm not eating that. No way. No. I'm down.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you. I mean, Lee, you're sort of up on this. What object would you ask the No Dunks crew to, commission for you? What real object can we make a cake for you? I'm sure Taz's wife, Danielle, she's a fantastic baker. Maybe she can pull this off. What do you want? What object?
A basketball. Why not?
Oh, God. What a boring answer.
Most boring.
I don't know, but it reminds me of the Curb Your Enthusiasm episode with the penis cake the Funkhouses get, remember? And then Larry goes in and orders the cake, and the guy brings him out the penis cake, and he goes, "Oh, the Funk Man, he gave us a penis cake on purpose." Go and check it out. It's great.
We got a lot of videos to share with each other after this podcast. Okay, let's hear from you guys out there. Tweet at us at No Dunks Inc. You up or down on cakes that look like real objects? Just like you, Trey, Nora, big time down on this. She hates this. She's like, this is gross. These cakes, first off, probably don't taste all that good. And I hate this phenomenon. So you're not alone, for sure.
Yeah, if you were asking me what kind of object you want my cake to look like, make it look like a cake so I can actually eat it.
Ooh, wow, next level. This looks like a cake, and it is a cake. All right, let's. We got a lot more still to throw some thumbs on, but before we do, a quick word from our sponsor.
Look, I love my personal care products from Hawthorne that we all rave about. We even mentioned it earlier in this podcast. That's how much we love it. But I have some qualms too. It's time for a complainted area ad spot.
Can't we resolve this conflict without anger?
Yeah, that's right. In the spirit of Matty-O, I am gonna air my gripes because I nor Matty Austin are above complaining about free stuff. So Hawthorne, it's been a great couple of months with you, gotta be honest. But the print on the bottles is coming off in the shower. The white labeling, which once read body wash, now looks like snow on the side of a bottle. Now, I contacted Hawthorne, and they said it tends to happen with showers essentially steaming it off. I gotta disagree. My shampoo and conditioner labels are fine, as I haven't been using them, and I haven't been taking hot showers because I got poison ivy on my legs, and that just makes it burn. It's a wear and tear issue. That's what's happening, Hawthorne. Still, they're addressing it. Can't complain. Second, all of the body wash, shampoo, conditioner bottles are exactly the same size and color. You guys know this, right? Mm-hmm. You go to pick one up, and you're like, nah, that's not the one I wanted.
Yeah.
Hawthorne said they're working on addressing that because it's a major issue for people who are far-sighted. They can't read it. These guys are good.
Hey, that's smart. They should just change the cap color. That's all you got to do. You don't even have to worry about this. Keep the bottles the exact same, or at least address the label peeling off for Tass. It really irks them. But yeah, change the cap. That's a great idea.
Cap's a good idea. Also, not very labor intensive. You don't have to change all the bottles. Just change the caps.
Yeah.
Just get a new cap provider, Hawthorne. Beautiful. That's what we're here for. We're a workshop. We got lots of time. We're a focus group. All right. Lastly, this isn't like a Matt Austin 48-minute complainted area. Lastly, the bottles have fallen out of my hands multiple times.
Okay, see, that's you. That's you.
No.
Your hands are too soft.
That's a human error. I've never
I've
dropped
shook
them
those
once.
hands before. Too slippery.
They're slippery. They are slippery. I'm convinced they're slippery. Hawthorne replied to me, actually, and said, "You're a buffoon. Learn to hold something in your hand, you idiot."
I agree with that.
No, they didn't reply that. But the silence to that complaint said it all. They are slippery. Anyway, also, I need some refills. And that works out well because Hawthorne.co gets you 10% off your first purchase with the code NODUNKS. That's Hawthorne.co. And use our promo code NODUNKS to get 10% off your first purchase. Check out Hawthorne at Hawthorne.co. That's Hawthorne with an E and .co, not .com. Hawthorne.co. That's for you, Matty-O.
My birthday test, well, yours too, I guess, in a month's time, about, give or take. Could you talk to Danielle and make me, and have her make me a cake that's Hawthorne products? Body wash, some deodorant. That would be cool. Trey, maybe you would even like that. So,
Oh yeah, if you're making cakes into Hawthorne products, I will be up on that, but only if they have different colored caps.
okay.
I think what I envisioned this cake. It's just a cake, and you stick the three. I got 3 bottles. Stick them right on top, so you got a Hawthorne cake right there. Boom.
All right, I love it. Back into the Up-Down report. According to Yahoo's Chris Haynes, Jimmy Butler had security called on him last week at his Disney World hotel room for causing a disturbance. Haynes said security received a complaint about a loud thumping going on. When the security guard went to the room, the guard encountered Jimmy Buckets with his practice gear on, drenched in sweat. Butler reportedly was dribbling a basketball late until the early morning. So he's making a ton of noise. But I'm throwing on my tinfoil hat for this one, guys. And I'd like to credit Kurt Helen at NBC Sports for this wild theory. What if Jimmy Butler actually called security on himself and made sure the story was leaked to Chris Haynes just so the legend of Jimmy's crazy work ethic, carried into the bubble? All right, that's the conspiracy here. Are you up or down on the idea that Jimmy Butler called security on himself? Trey, is there anything to this?
This is true. This is 100% true. I'm 100% up. Nobody wants you to know more about their workout schedule than Jimmy Butler. We heard about him working out at 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. when he got to the Heat. We heard about his practice with the Minnesota Timberwolves, which he went on ESPN and talked about immediately afterwards. This is a classic Jimmy Butler story. It has to be true. But if it turns out that it's not true and it's somebody else, it's still a great story because it means the first real complaint we hear about from the Bubble Snitch Hotline is a neighborly complaint. And I think that's way funnier than somebody violating protocol. They're like, they're just keeping me up here in my hotel room, which now means we got to hear the scoop of who called it in. Is it another player? Is it a coach who's actually trying to get some sleep? Either way, the story is great, but I do think it's Jimmy Butler turning in Jimmy Butler.
It'd be great if TJ Warren is in the room below him. He's like, man, I can't believe this. Right, I'm calling the cops. That's it, Jimmy. Stop working out at 3 a.m. in the morning. But I actually agree with Trey. I think Jimmy It's like, man, you can't keep me in my hotel room. I'm going to get a workout in no matter what. Look how hard I'm working, everybody. And he just wants it out there to know that when the game starts, Jimmy's going to be ready, because that's his whole thing. It's like he's always ready, he's always in shape, and he always wants to go. And he's saying, even in my hotel room while you guys are all sleeping, I'm getting a few dribbles in. I respect it.
I was gonna say, it sounds like something you would do, Lee.
For sure.
If you got a basketball in your room, I don't know if you're dribbling it as much as you're shooting it at something, but you're breaking lamps, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely dribbling. I'm getting a few shots up as well, but yeah, I'm dribbling, working on the handle.
Tass, will you agree with us here? Everybody sounds like they're up on the conspiracy theory that Jimmy called the cops on himself, called security on himself. What do you think?
It almost makes too much sense not to be true. I gotta believe it. When he was working out at 3:30 in the Miami Heat's gym, who's reporting on that? It's not the security guard. It's Jimmy calling a reporter and saying, hey, report on me working out at 3:30. Let people know that I'm there at 3:30. Jimmy loves telling people Jimmy works out. I think it's entirely plausible, which is very, very funny.
Next one here, Damian Lillard turned 30 on Wednesday, and the Trailblazers, they tried their best to throw him a party there in Orlando. CJ McCollum, he decorated Dame's presidential suite door. Yes, he's got the big room, Dame does. And according to Mark Spears, the party included some bubbly, some Crown Royal, lemon pepper wings, short ribs, and some surprises, which I think we're still waiting to maybe learn of the surprises, if we learn of the surprises, because the party happened late last night. Happy birthday to Lillard. But, JD, let's go with you first. Are you up or down on the Blazers throwing Damian Lillard, a grown man, a 30th birthday party in the bubble?
I'm up on it. Of course I'm up on it. It's a party. He's turning 30. That's a big one.
True.
Especially in a basketball player's life. You know, you're leaving your 20s. And, yeah, you're allowed to have a party. I'm hoping to get a party. I'm turning 50 this year.
Woo! Wow.
And it's going to be in a bubble, probably, the way things are going. So it's going to be one to remember.
Sure.
I'm going to get some Cristal up in here.
So you're up on this. No problems with this.
No, why would I have a problem? Unless, of course, I'm assuming everybody is doing what they're supposed to be doing. No outsiders, bubble people only. But yeah, I'm into it.
Okay.
Maybe Jimmy Butler didn't get invited, and so he was like, all right, you're not going to invite me to your party. I'm just going to be bouncing the ball all night. That's it.
Get the invite. Maybe. Trey, what do you think about Lillard's 30th here?
It's just nice that he gets to have a birthday party, you know? I'm sure with all of the teams spread out throughout the country during the shutdown, there was no chance to have a birthday party, so it works out nice that he turns 30 when they're actually all together. We saw some of the footage of Dwight Howard going to like a DJ at a pool, and there was nobody else there, just a DJ playing to some empty chairs and Dwight. I hope it was a little bit more fun than that, and I suspect it was, because Mark J. Spears reported that agent Aaron Goodwin also got Lillard a very expensive birthday present that he was uncomfortable mailing to Orlando. That sounds interesting to me.
Yeah.
What's so expensive that you can't mail it to Orlando? A car? I guess you wouldn't be driving a car around the bubble. A really cool golf cart to get around Disney World? I don't know.
Or maybe it's just something you could in theory mail, but it's so damn expensive you don't want to get lost in the mail, or never, like a watch or something, or a piece of jewelry or something. Yeah, who knows? I can't wait to find out what it is, though. Tass, what do you think about this?
I'm so up. 30th birthday, as JD said, got to drink Cristal to this one. JD, when are you turning 50? Later this year?
November 7.
November
7.
Too bad. Dame would have dropped 50 for you if there was a basketball game on that day. But we'll be having a no dunks party. It's the off season. You gotta come in. You gotta come in for a Zoom party.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
So hold on. So as long as if this was his 31st birthday party, are we celebrating it? Like, I want to dig deep on this. What point do you stop celebrating a birthday party, or do you never?
I think it's after so is the milestone in America 21, isn't it, when you can start drinking? Is that right?
But
yeah.
For the
So
most
I think
part,
21 you're allowed to have one, and then on the when you turn decades, so 30, 40, 50, but not.
Okay.
Someone's
so
like,
I'm turning 40 this August, so we'll throw a party if we can. But if I'm turning 39, come on, yeah, you're probably not throwing a birthday party.
No way, man.
No, some
No
people
way.
disagree with that, Lee. Some people are like, why wouldn't you throw a birthday
I know.
party?
And some people, though, like to say it's my birthday week and they need to have 6 different celebrations. And I'm like, yeah, no, you don't. You're not getting one out of me.
Oh, come on, you party poopers. If somebody wants to have a party, they can have a party.
Yeah, fine. Have a party. Have a
week.
moment.
A week, sure. I get it.
But when people, because again, I've seen a couple of people and they're like, oh, we're going out for drinks this night and then we're doing this night.
People definitely do that.
And I'm like, there is no way, unless you're 8 years old, that you get like to sort of carry it over for a day or two. Like, that's it. You're not getting like a whole week of people fawning over you, like, because you turned 37. Get out of here.
You better never watch Vanderpump Rules, Lee. All they talk about is birthdays.
I'll avoid it then. That's pretty easy for me to do.
What were you saying, JD?
I'll be partying for the entire year. I'm turning 50 for sakes. I'm partying from November 7, 2020 to November 7, 2021.
Oh.
Well, enjoy it.
Thank you.
But every time I see you, I'm not giving you a hug. Oh, happy 50th, man. Like 6 months ago. Like, I'm very happy for you, but I'm not going to be like, JD, what are we doing tomorrow? Another day of 50. I got
Get
you
into
something.
it, man.
We gotta buy him something every day.
That could be a funny little bit, to be honest, actually. But yeah.
It's true. All right, we got a few more here. We got some fun ones. As you all know, the NBA bubble has turned into a bit of a frat party with everybody shotgunning beers. JJ Redick, he threw one down after his tweet from the day before miraculously hit 10,000 retweets, and he was a man of his word, and he shotguns slowly Bud Light. Myers Leonard then sucked one back. You know, it's become a thing down there. Tass, are you up or down on shotgunning beers?
The NBA turning into a bro show? You know I'm up on it. Why the heck not? But first, I'm up on a few things. Light beer, a Bud Light, smart. It's like chugging water. And like Myers Leonard told Zach Lowe, he did it in 2.6 seconds. I guess it was timed. Wow. Somebody timed it. I don't know. I guess the internet was timing it.
Yep.
He was a little disappointed in himself. He said he grew up in the sticks. He put 4 beers in a growler once and chugged it back. Hearing the words growler on a basketball podcast, I absolutely loved hearing it. But it was in his room, and, you know, there's some spillage that's going to happen. If you got carpets in there, I don't like that. I don't want my beer stinking like, my room stinking like beer for a week or months. You know, if you don't clean that thing, and they're not cleaning it as much. So I'd be worried about that. I'm sure Myers Leonard's probably spraying that spot with some Axe deodorant or something and cleaning it up. Get some Hawthorne in there. Clean that baby up. That's the only part I'm down on. But everybody chugging beers, like, I want 350 players pounding one back on Zoom. Let's do it.
Trey, what do you think?
Myers Leonard throws himself birthday parties, I'll tell you that much. That guy's still got the chug game down. You can tell JJ Redick's a 36-year-old man. He's sitting in a pool. It took him like 10 seconds to do it. The next thing you know, Myers Leonard's crushing 4 in the time it took JJ Redick to do 1. Then he's got this crazy move where he puts a beer on top of a basketball, drops it, it pops up back into his hand, and he crushed it again.
Oh, yeah.
This is the fan interaction we were looking for. We didn't know what it was going to be. It turns out it's just going to be people retweeting for players to do bubble stunts when they're in their hotel room. I say we got to get some players doing ice chest. I don't know how many retweets it's going to take for Damian Lillard to whip an ice cube at CJ McCollum's chest, but if it's got to be 50,000, I'm here for it.
Oh, yeah, and ice chest it originated in a hotel room. That's where it started, the game of ice chess that we created.
Portland, wasn't it?
I think it was in Portland. Yeah, I think you're right, Lee.
That's it.
It's got to be the Blazers. Hopefully at his birthday party they played ice chess.
I can just imagine
Maybe
the
that's
snitch
what
line. Excuse me, I hear a whole bunch of loud smashes and people groaning. I don't know what's going on above me, but it sounds violent.
No, it's like Zach Collins. Excuse me, the ice machine is out of ice. What's going on floor 3? Can we check that out? Oh, yeah.
That's what Lillard's agent was sending him, a whole ice machine to go in there, so we have it in his room.
He's sending him a Yeti. You can keep that ice for weeks. Okay, so Lee, are you up or down on shotgunning beers?
There's a time and a place for it. You know, it's great. They're out there, they're having fun. But, you know, my thoughts on Budweiser, Bud Light, all that sort of garbage. Right. I mean, you may as well just tip it down the drain. You're going to get that much joy out of it. Tass even said it's water, basically. I mean, it's ugly water. So, you know, if you're going to have a beer, have a nice beer. Just enjoy the beer. Sit back and have a Guinness, you know. I'll do that for your
You're
birthday.
not having a Guinness in this heat. Come on.
JD, I'll have a Guinness for your birthday with you. I'll enjoy that one.
All right, every day for 1 year.
That's fine. See that? Now that's a sort of celebration that's actually I could get on. I could jump on board with. You know, it's like just going to have my daily beer with JD. It's a nice pint of Guinness.
Set up the Zoom every day. Have a Guinness with each other. JD, what do you think?
Shotgunning a beer in general is stupid. It's just a stupid thing to do. But, sometimes stupid things are great. So I haven't shotgunned a beer probably since I was 21. And, that's fine. And that's good. But I do like to suck back beer, and I like to suck it back fast. So, do I need to shotgun a beer? No. But,
I'm up on this because, Tass, you said it, I think, in our Slack channel. I still owe you guys a pick and payoff. I lost February, and then of course, we hadn't got to it in March, trying to figure out what we were going to do, what I was going to do to pay off my February loss. And you said, Tass, hey, maybe there's something here. Maybe you have to shotgun a Bud Light or a beer off the top of a show one of these days, on one of the podcasts. I think that's if you guys are on board, I'll terribly shotgun a beer. I am not very good at this. I will be honest.
I'm in. I'd like to see it.
And we'll pick a show next week or whenever before the end of the month, and I'll pay off my February loss. I'll shotgun a beer. I think JD, you said it should be at the start of the show.
Yeah, of course.
Instead of the end, and then we'll go from there. Okay.
Sounds good.
It's a good idea. It's a quick, easy one, and you can see me make a mess. I'll ruin my computer and the mic. I got some carpet in here, Tass. That's going to be a problem.
Put a towel down.
Yeah. All right. So I will at some point shotgun a beer on a podcast too. All right. Final one. We're ending on a very positive note. We learned yesterday that Jrue Holiday and his wife Lauren are using the Pelicans guard's remaining game checks for this season to launch a social justice fund. Drew's game checks, worth possibly up to $5.3 million, will help start the Jrue and Lauren Holiday Social Justice Impact Fund, which is designated to aid communities in New Orleans, Indianapolis, and the Los Angeles area. I am throwing you the fattest softball lob here of all time, but Lee, we'll go to you first. Are you up or down on the Holiday family in general?
Down. They're an awful family, aren't they? They never do anything for anybody else. They're very selfish. No, obviously, this is a great thing that Drew's doing. And yes, he's dedicating most of the money to non-profits and black-owned businesses and citywide initiatives that seek to bring equitable outcomes for black and brown communities in those cities you mentioned, New Orleans, Los Angeles, and Indianapolis. So, obviously a fantastic thing. And this is the sort of thing that we've been talking about where, putting names or words on the back of your jersey versus actually making an action that is clearly going to have an impact, and this is what Drew's doing here. I have no idea if he's going to put a cause on his jersey as well, but I think, again, this is what you see. Guys like, I've got this money, and here's where I'm going to try to contribute and try to help. When $5 million sounds like a lot when you spread it out. It's actually, it sort of goes thinly because he's trying to help so many different causes. But everything that he's doing there is obviously fantastic, and you wish him all the best. And his family and his wife Lauren, they're incredibly inspirational family. Jrue took some time off when she had a brain tumor a couple of years ago to be there to support his wife, and everything he does really does seem to help other people. So obviously a big thumbs up.
Yeah, Dwight Howard has committed to do the same. Patty Mills, I believe, as well. Hopefully we get some owners on board. The players are going to be making a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, Lee, $5 million, it sounds like a lot. The owners are going to be making a whole bunch more money. So let's see how they are able to match the players, who are certainly leading the way, fighting for social justice, as they always have been. We all know they're going back into the bubble to make a whole bunch of money. So hopefully, seeing some of the players lead the way leads the teams and the owners to want to do something the same.
Yeah, and speaking of everything that Jrue Holiday has done in his past and donated money in his past, I found this part even more amazing, how self-aware he is when he said about this. With everything going on in this world, it made me and my wife realize that we aren't invested in our community as we feel we should be. Even though it's kind of a kick in the pants, you kind of feel like, I should have known this, or I should have known I could have been doing this before, but you're never too late, as he told ESPN. Everything he's done, and he's still thinking about it and still understands that he should be embedded deeper in his community. That's how much of a badass Jrue Holiday is, and he is an inspiration. And players donating money, etc., is great. But I think, guys like Jrue Holiday are going to go even deeper and actually try and get policy changed, etc. So good on you, Jrue Holiday. Not surprising coming from him and his great family. And Lauren Holiday had a great write-up in the Players Tribune as well recently about her experience with Jrue Holiday and Jrue Holiday being handcuffed for absolutely no reason while they were together once upon a time. That was a great write-up in the Players Tribune.
Yeah, on the TV show when we were the starters, we would throw one thumb up, right? Because we had those big foam thumbs. But I would definitely throw 2 thumbs up for this. Not only what they're doing, their initiative, but also for this. Holiday, giving the credit to his wife. Smart man here. I love this. He said, my wife one night was just like, I really feel like you should pledge the rest of your salary. Once she said that, it was like, damn, you're a genius. Not only are they doing this, but then Jrue Holiday getting huge brownie points with his wife. He's like, it's her idea. Man, she's the best. That's a smart move, and she's smart, so good call there, Jrue Holiday. So double thumbs up for this one as we end the up-down report. That was a fun one, guys. Thanks for joining us today. We got a fun guest lined up tomorrow. We're going to go one-on-one with King of the Fourth Quarter himself, 2K YouTube star, Through the Wire podcast host, Kenny Beecham, is coming on the podcast. The people wanted this. They wanted this collab, so I'm very excited to talk to Kenny, King of the Fourth Quarter, here on the podcast. So make sure you've subscribed up. While you're doing that, check out the new podcast feed, The Athletic NBA Show. They had a great one up today. Point of Contention. That's the new pod within that feed. Ethan Sherwood-Strauss, Marcus Thompson. The pod is titled Weed in the Bubbler. So you know it's a good one. Marcus Thompson writing about the players getting their weed, maintaining their weed in the bubble. Fantastic stuff. So go check that out. The Athletic NBA Show. That's it for today. Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, we're getting in the collab with Kenny Beecham Friday. Check it out.
Price today, people.